Proposed rule looks like Merrill.
Wait, on here.
Oh, you gotta mute us.
Hi, everyone. We'll wait for a few more people, but wow, great to see all of you. There are people from all over the world here. This is fantastic. And relatives of Mr. Hollender too. Hi, Risa. And well, we'll just give it a few more minutes and then we'll get started. But great to see everyone here. There's over 100 people registered, so this is very exciting. There we go. Great. Okay. So welcome everyone to our 2022 Morris and Edith Hollender Tisch. And I see quite a few shul members here, and I see quite a few people who have never been to Temple Beth Israel. So it is a wonderful place. It is a wonderful shul. I see our former Rabbi Tracy Nathan here from St. Louis, where it is not quite Shabbos yet. I see a lot of members and wonderful friends from all over the world. I can't even begin to tell you. I see some Hollanders, actually, which is great. Relatives of Mr. Hollender. I see some Beckers. I see some, is Joe here? Let me see. Anyhow, I could do this all night looking around, but it's fantastic that everybody gathers. We gather every year to honor the birthday, actually, of Morris Hollender, who was our lay leader at our congregation for close to 40 years, actually more than 40 years. What am I saying? Our Baal Tefillah and our Baal Korah, the guy who led the minyan and led the and read the Torah every Shabbos. And Mr. Hollender was from a little farming village in eastern Czechoslovakia on the border of Ukraine, in the Carpathian Mountains, what we call Carpato-Ruthenia, called Upper Remeche. And that's where we're going tonight. Because what we do is we bring back the tunes on the spirit of this little farming village, which had 6 Jewish families in it, actually, and was destroyed during the Holocaust. And most of the people who lived in this village died in the Holocaust, in fact. But Morris Hollender survived, and basically after the war, after he was recovered from many injuries that he suffered at Auschwitz and almost died 5 times, as he often reminded us. He simply became somebody who carried on his family's wonderful heritage, which was part Sephardic and part Ashkenazic. And he spoke his at least 6 or 7 languages, and remembered the music from his village and the music that his family had taught him over the years, especially his uncle Shloime, who was really the Baal Tefillah for that area, and taught him melodies that had been in the family for many years. And he taught them to us, and he brought those melodies to Waltham, and he made that part of the whole spiritual life of Temple Beth Israel. And he died about 5 years ago, but in fact, many of us at Temple Beth Israel remember these melodies, and we will carry these on, and we have been carrying these on, and I've been teaching them to lots and lots of people all over the world. And I was already doing that, in fact, when Mr. Hollender was here. And Mr. Hollender also is honored in a permanent exhibit at the Yiddish Book Center. So I encourage people to visit the Yiddish Book Center, which is open these days, and see this wonderful exhibit, which also features these tunes, many of these tunes that we're singing tonight. So we're going to start out with what we call the Hollender family niggin. He thought of this as this was a niggin that his family had sung for many years, and he called this just the Hollender family niggin. If you have the song sheet, there's a song sheet that you can download, and that's a wonderful thing that Mark Freidenberg, our former president at our shul, has prepared. It's got the Temple Beth Israel logo on it, and already at our Kabbalat Shabbat service tonight, we did Mr. Hollender's Lecha Dodi. So we're going to start with the Tisch and the Hollender family niggin, and this is relatively easy to pick up on. The only rule is that, of course, because we don't all have a sound jack or anything that can make us actually sing together online, I will ask you to stay muted, except for the people who will be also leading songs later on tonight. So, but please sing these with great spirit wherever you are. The melody is not very hard. It goes like this. La 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 da 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 la 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 la. So you can try singing that back right now. Just stay muted, and I'll repeat the melody, because this is one that maybe we'll sing a few times. La 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 la. La 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 ya la 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 la. Let's do that again. Ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 ya la 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 hi la 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 la. Second part. La 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 ya la 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 hi la la ya la 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 ha la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Let's do that again. Ha la 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 ha la 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 la. La 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 la. Third part. La 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 I la 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 I la 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 hi la 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 hi la 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 hi la 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 la. Second part again. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. One more time with that. La 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 la. Hi la 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Hi la 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 hi la 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 hi la 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 hi la 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 hi la 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 la. La 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 hi la 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 la. And it's great. I'm watching, and Richie Davis was singing along the whole time. I hope things are good out there in Western Mass. And I see Phyllis, and Phyllis was singing along, and some of you I can't see, but I assume everybody's singing along. So that's great. So I want to mention that the next song on the song sheet is one that is very much beloved in this congregation, and it was Mrs. Hollender's very favorite song. And we were hoping Eden McAdam Somer would be here to lead this, but she actually, unfortunately, was not feeling well just right before this. So she let me know that she isn't here tonight to lead this, but we are going to go right into Jeden Freitagsnacht. So this is a song that was composed by Mars Hollender's brother, Shuli Hollender. Shuli Hollender was in cantorial school in Nitra, which was the last yeshiva to be open in Czechoslovakia during the war. It was actually open through 1943, which is kind of amazing. And it was a place where many, many cantors and rabbis were trained. There is a Nitra yeshiva here in the US, in New Jersey now, actually. So the Nitra yeshiva was reconstituted here. But he would come home every Friday night from Nitra, and he would have Shabbos with his family. And Shuli Hollender perished right after the war, right after he got out of Auschwitz. He was just unfortunately so malnourished that he couldn't survive. But Mr. Hollender always kept his memory alive, his brother's memory alive through this song. And as you can see from the English translation, when God finished creating the world, everything was in place, and he got all that done by Friday night. So that idea that God basically was creating the world in 6 days so he could have a good Shabbos dinner with his family. And he made woods, he made lots of fields, he made people rich and poor. Already, interesting. That's in Genesis. He made the heavens and earth and rivers just in time for Friday night, because every Friday night our troubles are gone, the table is set, the room is lively, and everything tastes great. Every Friday night we sit in our apartments and we sing Zemiris, and every Friday night. And Shuli goes away every week, but he comes home every Friday night. He's everywhere. He goes all over the place, but he comes home just in time for Friday night. The observant wife seats him at the table, gives him the Kiddush cup, places the fish on the table, and the room is lively. Everything is fresh, just in time for Friday night. So the congregation members always join in on the chorus on this, and you're welcome to follow along. It goes like this. Geendig beschaffen die Welt, hat Gott in dem Freitag zu nachts mit einmal die Welt hergestellt, pinkt in dem Freitag zu nachts, gemacht hat Wälder und Felder a Sacht, gemacht hat menschlich Orm und Rach, gemacht hat Himmel und Erdenteich, pinkt in dem Freitag zu nachts, weil jeden Freitag zu nachts, herab mit die Zuris, der Tisch ist gedeckt, in der Stieb ist ein Chais und alles schmeckt mir. War jeden Freitag zu Nacht, mir sitzt sich in des Dieres und man sieht sich diese Meeres. Oh, jeden Freitag zu Nacht, Schuliken fort sich herum und kommt daheim Freitag zu Nacht. Ist überall und immer Tim. Und kommt daheim Punkt Freitag zu Nacht. Das Weibel, das Fremde, sie setzt ihm zum Tisch und gibt ihm dem Kiddisch und langt ihm dem Fisch. Und die Stiebe sein Chais und alles ist frisch. Pinkt in dem Freitag zu Nacht. Everybody. Weil jeden Freitag zu Nacht, herab mit die Zuris, der Tisch ist gedeckt, in Stiebe Zachaias und alles schmeckt. Weil jeden Freitag zu Nacht, man sitzt sich in die Dieres, mir singt sich diese Meeres, jeden Freitag zu Nacht. Okay, I've never led that before, but that was a lot of fun. You know, it's funny, Ed Brown, who is a member of our shul, is also a wonderful scholar and somebody who is always always looking for new information. And he actually found the source of this melody, which was amazing. So he was watching, I think it's Andre Rieu, right? The violinist, incredible violinist. And he found this thing called the Skating Palace Waltz, which is a big hit written by a Jewish composer in the 1920s. And it was a melody that was so similar to this. And Ed immediately called me and said, I found it. I found out where Shuli Hollender got the melody to this tune. Now, you know, it was similar, not exactly the same, but really wonderfully similar. And it's really great to kind of think about that he was hearing these wonderful waltzes when he was growing up. And then he set these words to it, you know, assuming that he had written a totally original melody. So without any further ado, I want to call on the wonderful, wait a minute. Yaron is not going to lead Niggin number. You're going to hear an awful lot of me at the beginning here, but then we are going to go to Jessica Kate Meyer, who I believe is here. Yes. Okay, good. So this is a wonderful Niggin. This is really a dance Niggin. And Mr. Hollender, I would say, like, you know, what did you guys do? Like, when did you sing this? And he would say, on Friday night, we would dance around the table. family would just dance around the table. And this is a niggin from Rabbi Shapiro, who was the music teacher for the little town of Upper Ramity, and also in Bergsatz at the Cheder, where Mr. Hollender went. And he was a relative of the great Rabbi Shapiro of Minkach, who was one of the most famous Hasidic rebbes, and he was a cousin of that rabbi. And one of the things about this tune that I love so much is it's very much kind of a forerunner of so many Israeli horas. It reminds me very much of Rad Halayla, which is a tune written by somebody from very close to this region. These kinds of tunes really were very, very popular in this region. Hava Nagila is also a little bit like this tune. These early Zionists, these tunes became these Israeli chalutzik tunes that people sang to lift their spirits. It's also lovely because it's a little bit of a tongue twister. So anyhow, I'll sing this right now. This is Rabbi Shapiro's second niggin. And please sing along if you can. And I won't go too far to teach this. There's a lot to it, but I will do the sections so we can do it together. So here we go. And it starts like this. It's a diddle diddle dum. Okay, there's a lot of diddle diddle dum, so you're gonna really get your tongue working here. La na na diddle diddle dum, ya da na diddle diddle dum. Try it. Ya la la diddle diddle dum, ya da na diddle diddle dum. Okay. La da 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 la da 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 dum. Here we go. Ya la 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 da 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 bum bum. Ya da da diddle diddle dum, ya da la diddle diddle dum, ya la 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 la. Let's try it again. Ya la la diddle diddle dum, la da da diddle diddle dum, ya da 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 la 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 la. Ya la la diddle diddle dum, ya da da diddle diddle dum, ya da 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 da. Second part. Ya la 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 la. Let's try that. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Here we go. Ya la 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 la. You sound great. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Let's do that again. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Do a whole section. Ya la la da 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 da. Oh, wait a minute. Is that yeah. Yeah, that's it. Okay. I get mixed up from niggin to niggin. This is so let's do it from the beginning. Ya la la diddle diddle lam, la 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 diddle diddle la, ya la 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 la, ya la la diddle diddle la, ya la la diddle diddle la, ya la la la. Oh, am I mixing this up? Ya la 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 la. La la diddle diddle dum, ya la la diddle diddle dum, ay na 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 na. Yeah, I'm gonna have to kind of rewire my head for this, but it's very lovely and lively. But we didn't do the whole thing. Yeah, la 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 la. No, I think we're gonna move on. Because I feel like I am forgetting the third section. So I'm going to move on and hand this over to Jessica Kate Meyer, who is all the way in California and has to lead a service very soon. And so therefore, let me find Jessica. Are you there? Let me see. And if you speak up from speaker view, we will know that you have indeed joined us. So Jessica, are you there? Because if you're not there, we'll move on. Whoa, I don't see Jessica. This is so interesting. Now I know Yaron is here and Yaron is going to lead some things. I know Phyllis is here and Phyllis is going to lead some things, but let me see what's going on here. Okay, so if I don't see Jessica, I think we're gonna, if Jessica comes in a little later, we will let her do this Peace Luli, which of course, if we were doing Hallel this Saturday morning, Mr. Hollender would lead Peace Luli with this wonderful melody from the Nitra Yeshiva. But instead, I'm going to bring in a video, actually, from somebody who, when she lived in Boston, was very much attached to our shul, and she was someone who got very, very interested in Mr. Hollender's melodies and really made them a big part of her life. And her name is, whoever the host is, you need to give me screen sharing so I can share the sound, if that's okay. So please do that. If that is Mark or that is Dina, I need to be able to share this melody. And this is also from Rabbi Shapiro. It's a beautiful, beautiful Dveikus nigun, a very devotional kind of nigun. So let's see if I can do that now. Still not. Is it possible? Oh, I'm all set. Now I'm all set. So here I go. It still says host disabled screen sharing. So I don't know why that is, but this is just one of those great Zoom moments, but I've never had one like this on Shabbos. So let's see what this is. Want to try that again, Mark? Oh, still says host disabled, attendee screen sharing. I must be an attendee. So, we'll go back to that. Here it is. Try again. I can do it now. Yay. That's great. So here we go. And I'm going to actually share this video. I think that would be a great thing to do. We might as well do that because you can see Franzi sing this. So this is Franzi Seehausen, who was a student of mine at New England Conservatory, who originally played the clarinet. Then she had some illnesses that disabled her, so she became a singer. And then she is also, so she's living in Bonn, Germany now, and she does have this debilitating illness, but still she is singing and playing the harmonica. And so she sent me this video of her singing this beautiful devotional nigun, this Dveikus nigun. So where did that go? Here it is. Okay, great. Let's move it over and you should be able to hear it now. So just give me a thumbs up that you can hear this. I hope you can. Here we go. So that.
A good Shabbos.
So that's Franzi Seehausen. And if she, I don't think is able to be with us in person tonight because where she is, it's already 1 o'clock in the morning. But I love that she sent that beautiful, beautiful Dveikus Nigun. That is a nigun from the Bercher Rebbe. The Bercher Rebbe was another cousin of Rabbi Shapiro, the father of the music teacher, and he used to sing this melody. And this is a melody Mr. Hollender shared with us so many times because it's such a beautiful melody. And I've actually taught this to various Hasidim in Borough Park also who have never heard it before. So it's a nigun that, again, is finding its way around the world. It's so beautiful. And I thought that was just a wonderful, wonderful rendition of that gorgeous melody. A Dveikus nigun is a nigun about cleaving to God. So it literally kind of brings you in to this spiritual place, which is different from the normal world. You know, it's a whole other feeling that you have when you sing a melody like that. And of course, the purpose of a nigun is not to entertain or to sing it for anyone else. It's really for the singer. It's really something that you personally feel something from. So we're going to move on your sheet, unless Jessica has arrived, and please let me know if Jessica Kate Meyer is here. But if not, we're going to go on to Shir Hamalos. We have not had this on the agenda before, but I found some recordings Mr. Hollender made for me really at the end of his life. Honestly, he could barely talk at this point. And could not see, actually, so he couldn't really read the words for Shir Hamalos, but he said, I remembered a Shir Hamalos that I never taught you. And he sang this melody for me. And I don't think anyone at the shul actually has heard this melody before, but it's a lovely melody. And so you can, and it works very beautifully for Shir Hamalos, which is, of course, something that you say at the beginning of the blessing after the meal. And of course, you all had chicken paprikash. Is that correct? I believe everybody here had chicken paprikash tonight as they were trying to get into the mood for being in that part of Czechoslovakia on the Hungarian border. So this is a little piece of the Birchat Hamazon. And I'm going to just sing the melody first, and then I'll show you how it works with Shir Hamalos. Da-de-da-da. Da di da da dum da 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 di da da dum bum bum ba ba di bum 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 bye ya ba da ba dum ba ya ba 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 bum ba 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 bum 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 ya ba 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 dum bum ya ba 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 dum bum yam ba ba dum ba yam bum ba ya ba 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 bum ba ya ba 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 bum ba da dum ba yam bum ba ya da dum dum da ya ba dum dum Yai badam pa ya ba 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 bum. Hey yo da 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 dee da yum da da dum da da ba dum dum da. Yai da dum dum da 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 dum dum. Da ya ya ma ya ba da ba dum. Yum bum 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 ba da 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 yum ba dum da da dum. So as you can imagine, Shir Hamalos Beshuves Adonai Es Shiva Zion Kichol Mim Ahaz Yemale Sachok Binu Shonenu Berina Az Yoimru Bahagoyim Higdil Adonai Lasos Imele Higdil Adonai Lasos Imanu Hayinu simechim. And then the second part, Shuva Adonai Eshiviseinu Kafikim Banegev Hazorim Behedima Berinayin Soruhu. No, hahaloch yelechu vakolano se meshech hazara baho yavo beherina no say alumotav. Okay, so we have a new piece for the Hollender Tisch repertoire, and it's a great little Shir Hamalos, I have to say. So now, let me see who is next on the agenda, because I think we do have a guest. Yes, okay. It's time for Mordechai Hollender for his happy niggun. So Mordechai Hollender was Morris Hollender's father. He was a very serious man because he had a farm, and the farm was a farm that had all kinds of dairy products, which they served, which they sold at their farm store in the village. But he was always worried about making enough money and having enough to support his family. He was very generous, a very generous person, Mordechai Hollender. In fact, there was a Roma family. They were musicians, and they were also healers in the Roma tradition. And he said, why should you all be roving around all the time? Why don't you just live on our farm? And he gave them land, and they lived on the farm also, which actually made for some incredibly colorful stories in the Hollender family, because they learned so much folklore from the Roma family that lived on their farm. But this niggun, as Mr. Hollender said, his father was always very serious and a little bit worried, but whenever he sang this, he was happy. And so in that spirit, I want to invite Phyllis Werlin, who actually led quite a bit of our Kabbalat Shabbat service, and she's a wonderful singer, a member of our local Zamir Chorale, and she's going to lead the Happy Mordechai Hollender niggun, which you'll see. It's a beautiful, beautiful melody. So here we go. We don't know how old these melodies are. We just know that they were passed down in this family. And if Mr. Hollender hadn't taught them, no one would know them. So Phyllis, why don't you take it and do your happy melody?
And I remember Hankus always telling me that Mr. Hollender didn't like to sing die, die, die all the time. It's hard for me not to do it. But he said it was more of a la, la, la kind of thing. So.
Yeah, they weren't Hasidim. They were modern Orthodox.
Right.
So they didn't want to like, they lived among Hasidim, but they wanted to be a little more modern, and to be more modern, you had to be la, la, la.
Okay. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. 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 La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Yashikoyach. Oh, it was so beautiful, Phyllis. Thank you so much. And so great that people got to hear some voice other than mine. Um, the next one on the song sheet is Yom Zeh L'Yisroel. So this is a Friday night Zemiras tune. It is a day for the Jews of light and joy, the Sabbath, a day of rest. And Yaron Shragai is here. And I think Yaron, why don't you lead this one? That would be fantastic.
All right.
And this is one of the few Zemiras tunes that Mr. Hollender remembered, because mostly they sang Nigunim on Friday night, but this Zemiras tune was in the family. And again, I've never found anyone else who knew this tune.
All right. So there's a simple repetitive melody. So I hope you'll sing along with me out there in Zoomland. It works as a niggin without words, or it works with the words that are in the song sheet. If you have the song sheet, the words are, in case you don't have the song sheet, I'm going to pronounce them in modern Israeli Hebrew first. Yom Zeh Le'Yisrael Ora V'Simcha, or in Morris's Ashkenazi pronunciation, Yom Zeh Le'Yisroel Oiro V'Simcho. The melody starts out, Yai dai 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 dai, Yai dai 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 dai. Second phrase is almost the same. Yai dai dai yai dai dai, Yai dai dai yai dai. That's half the tune right there. Let's do that much. Yai dai 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 yai dai, Yai dai 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 dai, Yai dai dai yai dai dai, Yai dai dai yai dai. And then we have ya da dai dai lai 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 lai. I'll sing just that line again. Ya la lai lai lai, ya la lai 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 lai. And finally, lai 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 lai, ya lai 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 lai. So the whole second half of the tune is ya la lai lai lai, ya la lai 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 lai, yai lai lai yai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, Yay lay lay yay lay lay yay lay 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 ya la lay 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 ya la lay yay lay 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 yay lay 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 yay lay 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 Yoim ze Yisroel, oiro v'simcho, oiro v'simcho, Shabbos menucho. Oiro v'simcho, Shabbos menucho, oiro v'simcho, Shabbos menucho. Yoim ze Yisroel, oiro v'simcho, oiro v'simcho, Shabbos menucho. Oiro v'simcho, Shabbos menucho. Oiro v'simcho, Shabbos menucho. Yay lay 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 yay lay 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 yay lay 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 yay lay 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 ya la lay 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 ya la lay yay lay 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 yay lay 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 Yay, lay, 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 lay.
Thank you so much, Yaron. It's so great to have Yaron to be part of this year. We've never had Yaron lead a tune at this, and he's going to be leading a bunch of them tonight. So this is just fantastic. That was so beautiful. You're going to be in charge next year. Okay. That was fantastic. What a beautiful tune, right? Not like it's so different, you know. And I once asked Mr. Hollender whether this was passed down on the Sephardic side or the Ashkenazic side, and he didn't know. So I really don't know. It might be a Sephardic tune. Hard to know. It has some real interesting twists to it. It's a very, very beautiful tune and passed down for many generations. But now we'll sing another Friday night dance tune. So it's wonderful. You know, I mean, I feel like the tunes that Mr. Hollender taught us really make it possible to feel this, you know, like there are so many of them and you really can feel that you're there, you know, that you're in this other world, almost like in another century, in completely the particular kind of feeling of Shabbos being so different and taking you to another time and place. To me, these tunes really do it. They really work. So this one,
Hankus, did you want me to lead this one?
Oh yeah, that would be great.
This was one of the ones.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, we had a little swapperoo.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. All right, I'm going to give myself a little... I'm going to use my pitch pipe, by which I mean the pitch pipe app on my phone. Of course, neither pitch pipes nor phones are things that you're supposed to use during the Sabbath, but hey, we're on Zoom. All right. Yay lay lay la lay 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 la lay lay la 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 lay lay lay. Let's try just that. Yay lay lay la lay 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 la lay lay la 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 lay lay lay. And then the same thing with just the second ending. Yay lay lay la lay 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 la lay lay la 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 lay ya la lay 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 la lay 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 ya la lay lay la 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 lay 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 yay lay lay la lay 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 la lay lay la 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 lay yay lay la 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 lay yay lay 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 la 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 lay. Let's do that again. Yay lay la 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 lay yay lay 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 la 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 lay Yai lai ya la 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 lai ya la 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 lai ya la lai. Let's do that again. Yai lai ya la 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 lai ya la 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 lai ya la lai. And then we'll do that phrase again, but with a second ending. Yai lai ya la 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 lai. Yai lai 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 ya la 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 lai. Yai lai ya la 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 lai. Ya la 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 lai. And now the third part. These always have a third part. Yai yai la 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 ya la 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 yai la 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 ya la 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 yai la 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 yai la 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 yai la 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 ya la 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 yai la 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 ya la 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 yai la 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 ya la 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 yai la 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 la. And then many of Morris's tunes went back from the C part to the B part. A, B, C, B. Yai, lai, ya la 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 ya la 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 lai. Yai, lai, ya la 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 lai. Ya la 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 lai, ya la lai, ya la 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 lai, lai, ya la 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 ya la 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 lai. Yai, lai, ya la 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 lai. Ya la 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 lai. Remember the A part? Yai lai, say yai lai lai ya la lai 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 ya la lai lai ya la 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 lai lai lai. Yai lai lai ya la lai 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 ya la lai lai ya la 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 lai. Yai lai lai ya la lai 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 ya la lai lai la 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 lai lai lai. Yai lai lai la la lai 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 ya la lai lai ya la 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 lai. Yai lai ya la 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 lai, yai lai 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 ya la 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 lai, yai lai ya la 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 lai, ya la 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 lai ya la lai ya la 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 lai lai ya la 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 lai, yai lai 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 ya la 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 lai, yai lai ya la 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 lai, ya la 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 lai. Yai la 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 ya la 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 yai la 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 ya la 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 yai la 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 yai la 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 yai la 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 ya la 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 yai la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 yai la 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 ya la 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 la. Yai lai 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 ya la 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 lai, yai lai ya la 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 lai, ya la 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 lai ya la lai ya la 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 lai lai, ya la 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 lai, yai lai 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 ya la 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 lai, yai lai ya la 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 lai, ya la 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 lai la 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 lai.
Unbelievable. That's so beautiful and so great to hear your voice, Yaron. And I have never heard anybody sound so much like Mr. Hollender. It's fantastic. Thank you so much. And Yaron will be back actually 2 tunes from now. We're going to move on because we've done a lot for Friday night, and it's a tradition at the Tisch to move through Shabbos somewhat. So we're going to have a little taste of the Shabbos morning now. And this is a tune that Mr. Hollender loved to do in services to show us, you know, again, a tune from his family background, a tune from his village. And it was his El Adon on Shabbos morning. So this is a hymn that's sung every Shabbos morning. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful words to this. It's just so magical. And this tune is really wonderful, very evocative again of the region near Munkach that Mr. Hollender was from. So I'll sing it for you. Okay. Kel Adon al kol hamasim, Baruch umvurach befi kol neshama. God love etuvo lifnei, God love etuvo lifnei olam, da'asuf tuna sovavim hoidoi. Hamitgaher achos hakodesh, Minedar hakavod amir kava, God love iti, Gadlo visivo, male oilam. Ooh, yes, I'm sorry. Zechut umishu chesed v'rachamim lifnei kevoido. Tovim meoros shebara Eloheinu. Yetzaram bahadas bevina uvaskel koach ugvura natan bahem liot moshlim lios moshlim bekerev tevel mel melim zif ufikim noga naev zivam bechol haolam samichim b'tzetam v'sasim b'voyam osim be'ima ima ratzon konam pir v'chabod nosnim lishmo tolaverina lezecher malchuto kara lashemesh vayizachor ravitchin pir v'chavod notnim lishmo tolaverina lezecher malchuto Karaz shemesh v'hayizrachur ravitchin tzuras halvana ashevach nosnim lo kol tzeva maron kol tzeva marom Tiferes ugedula serafim v'ofanim v'chayos hakodesh la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Ya la 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 la, ya 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 la 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 la. La 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 la. So once you get in the spirit of the prayer, the melody is just so beautiful. I mean, these melodies are just so wonderful. And that's the first time we've done this at the Tisch also. So I want to bring more new melodies, every year. And I have plenty to bring. So don't worry about it. There will be more new melodies also next year. So now we go to the third Shabbos meal, and that's called Shalashidis. You might notice that I'm mostly using Ashkenazic Hebrew. It was wonderful, of course, that Yaron is fluent in both Israeli Hebrew since he is from Israel, but he also knows Ashkenazic Hebrew really well. So that was so beautiful. Mr. Hollender only used Galicianer Ashkenazic Hebrew. So a lot of the printing that you see here is not even the way we're pronouncing the words because I'm trying to use his pronunciation, but it's a beautiful, beautiful sound. So we're going to do a niggin now, which came from Beryl Kalish, his uncle Beryl I don't know if Joe Kalish is with us today, but the Kalishes are also relatives who live in Boston and who keep the Hollander traditions alive. And this is from Uncle Beryl. Uncle Beryl was also lived nearby, lived in Berrick-Satz, which is a town close by. And in fact, Joe Kalish is from there, actually. And Joe has come to the congregation many times in recent years. And only, in fact, I think from the advertising of I think we met the Kalishes only really when Mr. Hollander was very, very old. A lot of the family got in touch, and especially because we were having these concerts to honor him. So we keep the Kalish family alive. So the Kalish family represents, I think, Mr. Hollander's grandmother on the Hollander side. I might be wrong, but I think that's right. This is Uncle Beryl's Shalashidis Niggin, and it's a very, very beautiful one. And you might, there are versions of this niggin that are sung in other places, especially in that area of the world. But the whole feeling of Shalashidis, of the third Sabbath meal, is that it's a little sad because Shabbos is going to be going away soon. And so you don't sing the beautiful, lively nigunim at Shalashidis. You sing things like Mizmor LeDavid. You sing like the 23rd Psalm. You sing things that are much more kind of in a somber kind of mood. And this beautiful niggin was what Uncle Beryl always sang at Shalashidis. Ya ya da na da da na da da ya da 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 ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. He had a long white beard. I don't have a long white beard. I'm sorry, I can't do that. But la 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 la. La 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 ya. Ya la 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 la. La 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ay la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la la. Try it with me. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. La 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Oh, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. La 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la, ya la 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 ya. Beautiful. You sound great. Okay. So we've got one more song in our program, and it's a little bit from Malave Malka. So I didn't want to actually do, the wonderful, maybe we'll do it next year anyway, but one of the things Mr. Hollender loved was Havdalah. Every week he would go, he knew that the shuls actually had different schedules as to when Shabbos was over. So he would he would be in Bergsatz, he would be in the bigger town often on Shabbos with his grandmother, and he would go to one shul to do Havdalah, which is the prayers that you say at the end of the Sabbath. And then he would go to another synagogue to hear how they were done there. And I cannot figure out why in this one city in Czechoslovakia, why there were different times for the end of Shabbos. I mean, it really didn't make that much sense, but it was true. So he knew that this shul would end earlier and the other shul would end later, and he would just run from one to the other because he really wanted to hear how Beryl Kalish, who was one of his, not Beryl Kalish, oh my God, it's another Beryl, did his Havdalah. So maybe we'll do, but it's kind of wrong to do Havdalah on Friday night. I think we can't really do that. So I'm going to just, we're going to skip to the Malave Malka, which is after Havdalah, because this is a song that Mr. Hollender loved to do. It's from the prayer book, very much for the Malave Malka. So Malave Malka is after Sabbath. To keep the spirit of Shabbos going, you keep singing. But I guess the idea is you can turn on your cell phones, so people would keep singing. They could play instruments, but they would keep the spirit of the Sabbath going with Malave Malka songs. And this was a favorite Malave Malka song. And it means to keep the spirit of the queen, going. So rejoicing in the queen. So the Sabbath queen. So the idea is that this song was one that he really loved to sing himself. I want to say that I would love to stay on, and we can talk a little bit afterwards. It would be great to just hang out a little bit when we're done with the actual singing in a few minutes. I see many people from the Bali program at Brandeis. So a shout out for Bali. Fantastic. I see my family. I see both of my daughters and my son-in-law. Yay. I see my wife here. I see Ellen Band here, which is great. Our cantor at Temple Beth Israel. Jimmy Barron, who really made it possible for the Hollanders to keep track of finances for so many years. So it's just a wonderful, wonderful gathering in honor of Mr. Hollender. And of course, Mark Freidenberg, who really kind of makes this evening possible by doing all the tech. I just want to look around. Merrill Griff is maybe coming in from St. Louis. I'm not even sure if he's actually in town. And hi, Susan, all the way from Portland? No, Seattle. Yes, of course. Okay. So, I mean, we have people from all over the world here, and it's great. It's great that we do this every year and that people come back, because it's just a really beautiful, joyous event that celebrates a cultural tradition that, as I said, would have been lost except for this wonderful, wonderful member of our congregation who did so much for so many years to keep the traditions of his childhood and his family going. So I'm going to pass it over to Yaron again, who's going to lead a Skinu Sedusa, or as Mr. Hollender often called it, a skinny Sedusa. Okay.
Oh, what did I do here? All right, there I am. Undo that. All right. Asekinu sudoso dimhei menuso shleim oso chedvoso demalko kad isho askinu sudoso demalko Dohi seudoso, de David Malko Meshicho. David Melech Yisroel, David Melech Yisroel, David Melech Yisroel, Chai v'kayom. Simon Toiv, Mazel Toiv, Simon Toiv, Mazel Toiv, Yeheilonu, Yeheilonu, Yeheilonu l'chol Yisroel, v'noi maromein. Oy, Simen Toiv, Mazel Tov, Mazel Toiv, Simen Toiv, Simen Toiv, Mazel Toiv, Mazel Toiv, Simen Toiv, Simen Toiv, Mazel Toiv, Yeheilonu, Yeheilonu, Yeheilonu l'chol Yisrael, v'noi maromein. Askinus udoso, dimhemenuso, Shleimaso, chedvoso, demalko kadisho, Askinus udoso, demalko, dohis udosom, demalko meshicho, David Melech Yisroel, David Melech Yisroel, David Melech Yisroel, Chai v'kayom, Simen Toiv v'mazel Toiv, Simen Toiv v'mazel Toiv, Yeheilonu, Yeheilonu, Yeheilonu l'chol Yisroel, v'noi maromein. Oy, Simen Toiv, Mazel Toiv, Mazel Toiv, Simen Toiv, Simen Toiv, Mazel Toiv, Mazel Toiv, Simen Toiv, Simen Toiv, Mazel Toiv, Yeheilonu, Yeheilonu, Yeheilonu l'chol Yisroel, v'noi maromein. Yai lai la lai la lai lai la lai, Yai la lai la lai lai lai, Yai la 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 lai. Yai lai lai la lai lai la lai, yalla la 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 lai la lai la 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 lai, yalla la 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 lai, yalla la 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 lai, yalla la 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 lai, yai la 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 lai. Oy, Simen Toiv, Mazel Tov, Mazel Toiv, Simen Toiv, Simen Toiv, Mazel Toiv, Mazel Toiv, Simen Toiv, Simen Toiv, Mazel Toiv, Yeheilonu, Yeheilonu, Yeheilonu l'chol Yisroel, v'noi maromein.
You so much. Thank you, Yaron. Thank you so much to everyone who led tunes tonight. Amazing. You can unmute now if you're doing that kind of thing on Shabbos. I don't know. Where does it say you can't unmute on Shabbos? I'm not sure. Okay, what? But amazing, Phyllis. Thank you so much, Diana.
I want to
leader of our congregation. I want to say, Diana, go ahead.
say a big thank you to you. This whole thing would not have been possible if you didn't listen and record all those years.
You know what was amazing, Diana, about that was that I started recording Mr. Hollender in 1993, and he was a little reticent about recording, but then he found an excuse to record everything, and the excuse to record everything that he could remember was his relatives in Israel, because Penina Kaplan's mother. So Penina Kaplan was the granddaughter of Uncle Shloima. Uncle Shloima taught him all these melodies, and Uncle Shloima's daughter was still living in Israel. And the truth is that, as soon as, what he decided was he should record all the melodies so that Uncle Shloima's daughter could have them. And he figured out I could send them to her so that she could hear them. So that's what we did. We basically did these for
That's great. There's another.
And because of that, I have about 200 melodies.
I love the story too about how the car became the perfect sound recording space.
Oh, absolutely. Well, actually,
Hankus would drive them home.
That's right. That's right. Well, we also stop at Russo's and pick up a few things. But yes, absolutely. And would, you know, and he would always record something. But he also discovered, if you've ever been to Temple Beth Israel, you know that when you walk in, there's like a lobby area and it's very, very resonant. You know, in fact, I mean, honestly, if two people are talking, you know, you can't hear the conversation because it's so resonant, and he loved that room. So he sort of thought of it as like, it was almost like the Sistine Chapel, you know. It's like, you know, no, let's go out there and really get the sound, you know. So it's a great little place to make a recording. So we did all the stuff for his relatives in Israel, like including like, I mean, like the entire Shacharis High Holiday service, for example. I mean, you know, a lot of stuff, you know, various Shabbos,
Fabulous.
yeah, Shabbosim, stuff for the holidays. And it was, so it was really a wonderful thing because it was emphasizing the importance of these melodies, and they really are important. I mean, you know, it's also a wonderful religion, but it especially has a lot of great music, I would say. Yeah, so anybody else? Thank you, Diana. Thank you for always being there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ed, for the information on the Jeden Freitag zu Nacht. And you know, hope to see everybody again next year around the same time, which is around the time of Mr. Hollender's birthday, and also around the time of Shabbat Shirah. So it's often around this time of year, so it's kind of nice. It's often combined. Of course, we have an Adar 2 this year, so it's probably going to be displaced a little next year, but we'll see how it works out. Ellen.
Hankus.
Thank you for keeping Morris and his music alive for us. Thank you.
Well, I
Thank
want to
you
say,
so
Ellen,
much.
I never got to tell you how much I enjoyed your opening of the Rosh Hashanah service this year, and I think it was also the Yom Kippur service where you sang his melodies.
Oh,
I swear you did.
oh,
You
thank
sang
you.
the same Hamelech that he sang anyway, I swear.
Hankus.
That was amazing.
Hankus.
Yes.
Hankus, I would just like to say
Ed.
something. I
Yes.
just turned 85, and this is the first.
Woo!
Well, that's not what I'm talking about. This is the first time I've been called a scholar.
Oh, well, look, I mean, look, Ed can recite all the presidents. Then he can recite all the presidents, what, backwards?
Yeah.
What are some of the things you can do?
Those are about the two.
I just love that because my wife loves to recite all the presidents, but then,
Yeah.
then I said this to Ed one day, and Ed goes like, "Oh, I can recite all the presidents backwards." I mean, no, but who can do that? Who can do these things? So great to see you, Risa. That's fantastic, and thank you for gathering your family.
Yeah,
That's wonderful.
I should
And tell us
introduce
how
you.
you're related to Morris.
Yeah, well, Morris is my grandfather's first cousin, and my cousin Phil is on today, Phil Hollender. My cousin Debbie is on, Debbie Corwin, and we had other cousins on earlier today as well. And all their parents were Morris's first cousin.
Incredible.
So, yeah, and I think a lot of them maybe didn't know Morris all that well because he came over, to the U.S., quite a bit later. But I think this is such a special night. We really appreciate, what you're doing, and it's so lovely to hear all these tunes from back in the day. It like makes me feel nostalgic for something I didn't even know. So I really
That's fascinating.
That's the best kind of nostalgia, right? It's nostalgia for something you didn't know.
So thank you
Because
so much.
it's your family's tradition. Was your family, his cousins lived close by, I know, but I'm not sure what town, and how did they escape?
They all lived in Vishny Remetza too. They lived in the same town, but they were a bit older. So they came over in the 20s. So they came over before. So I would say half the family came over before, and there's a lot of relatives in America, and then of course there were the Mordechai and Shlomo, and I think one other cousin was in the Holocaust.
That's really amazing. Yeah, no, Mr. Hollender's mother also went to the U.S. To New York actually in the 1920s, and thought about relocating the family, but instead they went back. He survived, and his sister Serena survived in Budapest, having been hidden in Budapest with a Hungarian family. And that was it for his siblings who survived, and his uncles were killed, and the rabbi, and all these people who died in Auschwitz. But he kept the tradition going, and so you have it. And just know that these recordings are preserved on the website. You can even listen to last year's Tisch. So it's fantastic, and we'll keep it going, right?
Really
Oh,
amazing. Yes,
we
thank
will
you.
always keep this going. Anyone else before we sign off? And okay, well, okay. So
Thank you.
everybody, take care and have a great year, and we'll see you maybe even in person next year. Okay.
Baruch Hashem.
Bye. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Wow, Phyllis, that was beautiful. Maybe you'll sing another one next year. Wasn't Yaron amazing?
He's great.
Oh my
I'd
God.
love to. I want to learn how to sing the Fichtunach sometime. I can
Oh,
be an
Fichtunach.
understudy.
Oh, that would be in honor of your grandmother. I mean, my God.
Oh,
Right?
well, she loved the Yiddish, yeah.
That would be a Malden thing.
Oh, sure.
Serious
sure.
Malden Yiddish moment.
I like those niguns. I can't learn them easily, but I remember them when I hear them.
Did you notice that I forgot one of them tonight?
I said,
The
see,
problem is
Hankus can make
if they're at all similar.
niguns are like, I said, I remember you taught one at the barn. Someone taught one at the barn and it had
Yes.
so many parts to it. There was just no way I was
Oh my
going to learn
God.
it.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, now part G. Okay, let's go back to B. And now we sing C 3 times. I'm not going to
Measure
learn this one.
121. All
Well,
right, take
We hope
care.
we see you in less than a year.
Probably maybe even tomorrow morning. Bye.
Okay,
See you
bye-bye.
later.